Hello everybody, Project here. Right now, if you've been watching any of my streams lately, I would have been you would see me playing Darkest Dungeon, and I figure since I've had some experience with it, I might as well talk about it now for my Let's Talk About Games. So, now to start off really, let's talk about games, Darkest Dungeon. So Darkest Dungeon is basically almost like Bloodborne. It's pretty much like a love letter to H.P. Lovecraft, and in my opinion, this is a lot more difficult than Dark Souls and Bloodborne. The reason why is because in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, you have full control over everyone's actions. In this one, you're stuck in a 4v4 combat scenario with limited skills and health and stress, which is the white bars you're seeing below everyone's red health bars. That's a stress meter. What happens with the stress meter is, when it reaches 100, bad things will happen. You'll gain negative quirks. Now, they don't really tell you what the quirks do, but as they use the quirks like that, Rapturous, you'll see on his terms what he will do, which is labeled as Rapturous. Labeled by me not having any control from my character as that. That is what he does while Rapturous. He basically injures himself and possibly other people. And when they're stressed out, sometimes they automatically do their turns without your control. So, with this though, and here's the thing, why am I still playing it if it's that difficult? Well, you see here, there's this thing called a challenge, and I like challenges. I like to fight against almost nearly impossible odds as long as I see that I still can win in the end. Now, here's a tip. Before I continue on, where the tip for Darkest Dungeon is, what you're going to want to do is target the back two fighters first, and then slowly work your way up to the front. Because, there's my knowledge from other people who played this. I didn't really watch any further, I kind of just sat there and watched the earlier parts, but I've already done the earlier parts. I think I beat 3 of the bosses so far, at the time of this recording. Might have beat some more on the streams later on, though, I don't remember. We'll see what happens. So, the way it works is you have 4 types of fighters. You have the damage dealer, the health healer, the stress healer, and I believe you have the stun maker. The one who puts the stun everybody. Now my team, that team right there, that's the team for low missions, gaining money, because I have the Antiquator, or Antiquaria, the person in the 3rd spot right there. The one right next to the character I just went. The reason why is because there's team composition you have to worry about, as stunning is really useful as it allows opponents to lose a turn and you can attack them for free without a consequence of that turn, because characters have speed. What speed is determining basically the order in which they'll fight in. As you can see, new rounds have started yet, but if it was to be, my highwayman will be the first one to go. Arrow will be pointing to him. Then it'll probably be followed by my Flagrant, then my Antiquator, and then probably my Valorant. That's probably the order. Now into more about the game. It is a dungeon crawl, as you're seeing, where you have different objectives each time. But what's blocking with the water markers, what is the mission objective? I think this one is do either 90% of the rooms, but I think that is what it is. It's 90% of the rooms are explored. 90% of the rooms are explored, so you pretty much gotta explore all but a few rooms. And then you also have do 100 room battles. So you see those big blocks in the map, arrow pointing to one of them as an example. Those are called rooms. Those are the rooms. When you go into a room, you can have a chance to do a room battle seen by not that at all. Those are empty rooms. Now, a little tip with the map is you're gonna wanna, when you're doing a boss fight, is look to where you think the boss will show up, because usually you are right. What it usually is that it's usually the farthest place from where you started. So, like for the Necromancer, you have to go up and around the entire map to reach him. So you're going up and pretty much just one big line circling around. I think that was Necromancer, or maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't Necromancer, it was someone else, but whatever. Back on topic. Right now, and what I'm doing there is I'm pretty much being kind of reckless with my picking up, as my Antiquator is a character I don't really have much of a care for. This game is a very, chance-based kind of gameplay. Like that, say, if I noticed the start, I could have started, but I also couldn't have. Oh, resolve being tested again, and he's irrational. Oh boy. That is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, so sorry about the watermark, Rubina, that's kind of annoying me. Also, why that little bar up there, or that big bar, is your torch. Keep that lit at all times. That at 100% lit, no matter what. Unless you're doing a no torch run, which is stupid, by the way, unless you're really good at this game, because Shamblers. Shamblers knows the hardest enemy in the entire game, yet he's labeled a mini-boss. If any of you guys know Persona, it's the Reaper enemy. The enemy that just pops up out of nowhere if you're on a floor or you're on a last chest, that stuff pops out. Well, enough about referencing everything right now. So the way the game handles with stress and everything is that certain moves deal stress, certain moves take away stress, and you have 200 stress is the max. When you reach 200 stress, you reach heart attack status. When you reach heart attack status, that drops you down to 0 health, which does not kill you actually, but you're thinking, Pyro, how does that not kill me? I'm at 0 health, I should be dead. All RPGs say 0 health equals you're dead. Well, not this game. This game gives you leeway with death. Is that, let's say you have 5 health, and enemy deals, 14. You're not going to be in the negatives. You're going to be at 0. The game basically says whatever damage you just took, that put you to death's door, is all you took. You're not going beyond death's door. Death's door is literally your last spot of reprieve. So you have to find a way to get yourself out of there. That's why you always need a healer on your team, like you have the Vastriel, the Occultist, or the Flagrant. Can't pronounce his name, sorry. Guy in the front. They can heal, of course, differently. So, you're going to want to try and keep yourself out of 100 to 200 stress. So keep yourself out of that range, and if you're on 100 stress, they're pretty much done for the rest of the mission for a while. You have to just keep pushing through, and if you can make it, you can make it. But when it gets to a point where you have to give up, they're going to take a lot of stress. So I would recommend trying to push through the mission for as far as you can so you have to outright retreat. If you have to outright retreat, then do it. Don't second guess yourself, just outright run. Because it could lead to the risk of losing the entire party. And by the way, after every encounter, it saves your progress. In an entire dungeon, it saves all of your progress. So, you are going to want to be very cautious about everything you're doing here. Because if you're not, you're pretty much just saying, oh hi, I want to get killed. Thank ya. Also, you have camping right here. This is a place to pretty much set your characters up for everything. As you can see, everyone has different skills, and I don't have many at this point. I pretty much just use them all up improperly, so be warned, as yeah, that can happen too. Everyone has to be very careful with this. There are also negative quirks, which you'll see on characters. Some are like Kleptomaniac, where they steal things. Some are like Tippler, which they only will drink. Some is the known cheats, where they can't go out and gamble to reduce stress. So, they'll gain these as they progress through the game. So you can have a character who is a known cheat, then grow to where he has the negative quirk of love interest, where he can only go to a brothel to release stress, or he'll be known as a god-fear, to where some quirks don't matter because god-fear means they can only pray to reduce stress. But the thing is, you are limited in this matter. If you are limited in this matter, because each area for stress relief only starts up with 1 slot per area, per stress relief. And you have a caretaker. The caretaker will take 1 up. So if you have a very favorite character, let's say my crusader is god-fearing still, and I go to release stress, but the caretaker's in the praying section, I have to either waste my resources to get to a 2nd slot of praying, or just outright not put him in, or put him in the sanitarium to take away the god-fearing quirk, so that way I can put him into anywhere else to heal, to relieve his stress. See what I'm getting at here? It's all about, well, as the game even states, making the best out of that situation. Now, like I say, I'm just talking out of my ass, basically. I'm not fully. I'm talking from experience, but it's just me talking about the game, and well, now I'm trying to talk about what I don't like. I figure since I've talked a lot about the game already. What I don't like is that some stats become pretty much useless on the high difficulties. Dodge is pretty much worthless, as it's all like a giant... If any of you play Dungeons & Dragons or anything that requires dice rolls to do any action, it's all built off of a dice roll. So as you see there, that was a dice roll for me to dodge. Or dice roll there to dodge again, or dice rolls to crit, or dice rolls that my character will do that action on his own. It's all just big rolls. It's just a bunch of rolling, which to where you have no say in these actions, or even the perfect setup, which I'm not fully complaining. In fact, I enjoy that a little bit. But it's to where you quit the game. Some people will quit the game out of pure frustration, rather than saying that they don't want to play the game anymore because they've done all they wanted and now they don't know what else to do. Now it's more of, I'm not going to beat the game because the game is pretty much just saying F you to you. In fact, on my first episode of the stream, all the party members that actually beat the Apprentice Necromancer, all but 1 died differently. And I was so pissed that the day I was going to stream, I decided not to do the second part and decided to go out and get the Crimson Court DLC to get a new character and get new missions. That way I can go off and do more grinding. While that was happening, while waiting for that to down, I was off doing more grinding with other characters to get them ready for other boss fights, which lets the team use it on the second stream. So I keep rushing the stream, but that's how I refer to more gameplays, by looking at my streams. So sorry if I keep referring to that one too many times. And one second. I'm recording this early in the morning as I'm tired, so sorry. Another thing that I'm pretty okay with this is those what I like though is that it allows you to show your intelligence with planning. It allows you to really shine whenever you want to, as not everybody can play these type of games. In fact, the fact that I'm bad when it comes to strategy games, and yet I'm already pushing my way through the game, is enough to say that this game can really help someone with management in this way. As you know, see me play Dark Souls, I pretty much suck with management and resources, but that's really all I have much to say right now. If I missed anything else, I'll bring it up in other videos, but right now... Oh, secondly is, I'm really supporting Red Hook here. I bought their soundtrack off of Good Old Games, so the money went to them too. I have 2 versions of the game, one on my computer to play by myself whenever I get bored, without the DLC. And I have this PS4 one for my streaming. So right now, Red Hook, if you ever get Color of Madness, which is the next expansion coming out this spring, you guys can get that out soon, I will buy that and I will play that. Sorry if I'm rambling too much, but I just want to make sure you guys have everything I want to say here. So, the next Let's Talk About games will probably either be the ones from the last episode that I put up, and if no one votes, I'll just pick another random game to talk about, like this one. No one voted. I know it was rather early between the games, but I want to get another one out because it is something I actually like doing. So I'll probably talk about something else if I can. But really, Darkest Dungeon, good game. In fact, might even be my favorite game of this year so far. Pretty much just knocked Dark Souls out of the water for a very long time. Art style is good. Music's amazing. Like, you can listen to the music behind my voice the entire time. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. See you all another time. See another video. See you another whenever. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. See you all later.